Uh, hey, everybody, it's Niver, and this is Niverland. I had an excellent guest today. I met Chef Reactions this summer when he came to town. St. Paul threw out the first pitch over here. Ate at St. Dinette, where we're recording today. I needed to be in the space. I love being in Dinette and recording Niverland. It won't be long, and I won't be able to be in this space feeling this energy and kind of soaking it up as I speak with you. Chef Reactions today. Great talk. He's a cool dude. You know, he puts it out there in a certain way that not everybody loves, and he's kind of chiding on some folks sometimes, but he's hysterical. He adds levity to the restaurant world. It's he doesn't consider himself a comedian, but he is a funny dude. Today, Neverland's brought to you by Minnesota Ice, 36 Lynn Refuel Station, and my guy Lonnie. Land O'Lakes Foodservice. You know, if you got a big kitchen, they can help you out. And then, of course, brand new to us, Falling Knife Brewing Company. Had a nice chat with them, and they decided to come on board for sponsorship here. Hey, Chef Reactions, hang on. It's coming right now. This is Niverland. Let's get it on.
Trying to curb the cigarette cravings. Although I don't really miss them, to be honest with you. I smoked for 20 years, and I just gave it up.
I do. I miss them. I think I learned how to smoke like an adult in Spain. I was over there for school. It was 92. It was kind of like before the West had fully infiltrated, right? So you had like these old Spanish like values, right? And one of them was, if you pull a pack of cigarettes out, you fucking offer it up, bro, because we're enjoying this together. It's a social thing. Yeah. And so I miss that. I miss stepping out back, you know, like sitting on a milk crate and like chilling. Look, it's perfect.
I'm sure, like I've only been not smoking for 30 days, right? Like it's not. I still very much could relapse. I don't think I will, but like it's. I'm sure in a couple months I'm gonna see a milk crate out somewhere and just.
That's gonna be the trigger.
Scratching my fucking, yeah.
I need a smoke, bro.
The after meal cigarettes have been the toughest ones so far, because that was my ritual, right? That was like, have a meal, have a smoke, carry on with my day. Or even if it, when I was working in kitchens, it was eat a bite, eat a fucking half a carrot, have a cigarette, and carry on with my day.
I think I was thinking there's just moments in like restaurant lives that are. Like there's specific moments, like, when you're setting up the restaurant, you got a certain music on, you got certain people, you're either chatting or you're just vibing or whatever, or you get fully weeded, come through it, get a minute to walk outside, and in that moment you're like, oh, those are like quintessential restaurant moments for me. That's where these little exchanges between people happen. Like, I don't know, it's kind of
look, there's the 6-minute cigarette, and then there's the 6-second cigarette. They're two totally different experiences. You know what I'm talking about, where you just go out, light one, 3 hauls, gone, back to work, wash your hands, carry on with your day.
I walk outside and somebody's lighting up an American Spirit. I'm like, bro, there's no way you're getting through that whole thing before you come back in the restaurant. You're not sitting out here for that whole American Spirit, bro. That thing is like slow.
No, like
slow burn. It'd be a half an hour.
Yeah. No, I got myself, honestly, like I at a certain point I was 2 puffs and just back, just suck as much of that fucking cigarette back as I can. Exhale, do it again, throw it. Wash my hands.
Good to go.
Like that.
Good to go. Next turn.
The thing that I needed. Yeah. See you again.
I'll be right back. And then you got like the number 10 can opened up, and there's about 400 butts in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So sexy.
It was Folgers. It was usually Folgers for us. It was always a Folgers can.
You got to have Folgers on hand just in case something bad happens. Yeah. And then something bad will happen.
Well, that's all we were allowed in the kitchen was Folgers. The front of house got the nice espressos and cappuccinos and everything. and then the owner bought us Folgers at the one restaurant I was working at
Okay, well,
to have in the kitchen.
That's not fair, chef. That's not fair. That's
Right?
not fair.
That's what I said.
Like we
some
let
bullshit.
people, they have to ask if they get an espresso, right? Like, but I see somebody
Sure.
walk in and say, "Hey, Niver, what's up?" And they go into the cooler and grab like a bottle of Pellegrino or something. I'm like, can you hold on a sec with the Pellegrino? I mean, it's got minerals.
That's
in
a
it.
cost thing,
Yeah,
right?
it's like, bro,
that's a cost
We
thing.
got a whole bunch
I
of
get
water here. The ice is free. Like, it's nice.
Yeah, I will say this though. Once that owner was giving us Folgers, I would just like sneak cases of Red Bulls onto my orders. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You gotta have.
I had an event. I needed 200 Red Bulls that sit in my office for 6 months.
Yeah, they didn't buy them at the event, bro. Like, I thought that we were gonna get rid of them.
Yeah. I'm just sitting on them now. You know what am I supposed to do with it?
We'll slowly
breakage,
work through
just
it.
write it off for breakage and move on.
Dude, when I worked at the Bellagio, one of the craziest jobs I ever saw was there was a polisher. It was Michael Mina's restaurant, Aqua, and my wife worked there. And, essentially each of those plates is like $50 to $100 or something, like kind of extraordinary amounts of money. The glassware is so fine and you're polishing or whatever. So these polishers would get bonused on what they didn't break.
So like the opposite of breakage. Yeah.
Yes, they would get bonus when there was no breakage. I was just like, this is crazy. They're handling all of this stuff. I had bread. I don't know why we did any of this, but the Bellagio was like when we opened.
It's the Bellagio, dude. It's Vegas.
Yeah, we had $14,000 worth of hand-blown glass bread crostini holders on our tables.
For sure, that makes sense. Yeah.
And the dude, the main guy there at the time was Gamal Aziz, who got wrapped up in this college paying to get your kids college scandal. Anyway.
Oh, the fucking Aunt Becky from Full House scandal. No shit.
So this dude, like, he one day I'm walking down the hall with him in my cheap suit, and he's got his nails, with a clear coat and everything on. He's perfect.
Sure.
And I said something about something being impossible, and he stops me and he looks at me and he goes, "Tim, nothing is impossible at the Bellagio." I was shaking in my boots then, but I listened back now and I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely true.
I mean, look, nothing is impossible if you got the get up and go to fucking
That's
do
right.
it. You know?
In Vegas is all extremes. It's all experiences.
Vegas is all it's all about opulence and hospitality and getting you to spend your money that you won at the casino. Like, people don't understand that. Like, they're like, why does this casino have 18 restaurants? It's because they don't want you to fucking leave. They want you to win whatever money you made. Then they're like, oh shit, I won $1,000. Let's go drop that on a tomahawk steak. You know, like that's what they want.
That's exactly right. They pump a little oxygen into the room to keep you going. There's no, like, you're never walking in a straight line to somewhere you can't see from one end to the other. They're always stopping you with a different machine, a different something. Dude, you go into Albertsons and you're checking out buying groceries, and there's a line of like 15 fucking slot machines in your local grocery store. It's like, and people are just yanking. I don't know. Like, I'm
not much of a gambler. I never have been, just because I worked in kitchens forever, right? So it's like and I've never really made good money. I spent most of my 20s making fucking barely above minimum wage. So it's like, I was like, how many hours did I need to fucking work in order to bet $50 at the roulette table? You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, that's how
you're gonna win.
That's how
I'm gonna win.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna win.
For sure.
I'm gonna break Vegas.
I think I won once on a slot machine, maybe a couple $100, and it was a total fluke. And it's not like I pumped several hundred into it to get that. It was just fucking like.
It's slightly like golf in a way, right? Like, because you're gonna have so many shitty shots and be angry and want to throw the club in the pond, and then all of a sudden,
I love golf. If I could play golf every day, I would play golf every day.
I do too. But when you hit that one shot, you're like, that's the money. That's that's what keeps you coming back. When you're like a high handicapper, like I am, you're like, oh.
There's not a major corporation fucking you on purpose with golf. You know what I mean? Like, there's not. It's not like when you have 100 yards over the water to the green, It's not like somebody's going to just come up and swat it out of the air 99 times out of 100. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty much up to you. That's why I love golf so much. It's one of those things where it's like it's you versus you. Like even when you're playing against somebody else, you're not. You're playing against yourself, right? Like it's mental strength. It's not getting in your head. It like to me, it's like you get weeded out on the line and during service. Like you can either collapse or you can either buckle up and get ready for the ride and see yourself through it, right? Like I've seen a lot of people once that fucking shit start coming up, they look like deers in headlights, right? Like they don't know what's going on, and just that level of pressure just doesn't allow them to you need to be able to kick into another gear.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's
I could never do it on the golf course, bro. Like I mean, I have good days or whatever, but mentally out there, you know, I hear the birds chirping, you know, there's a lot of other distractions me and the dudes get into, you know, then it's kind of like, all right, just sit in and enjoy it. Just sit in and enjoy it.
That's kind of where I like.
But I'm competitive, man. I'm competitive.
I'm not really like I am, but I'm not like in the sense that like if I'm playing for you know a competitive reason like 2-on-2 or whatever, sure I'm competitive. But like we're playing golf, like a bad fuck. Every golfer has said this shitty line, but like a bad day on a golf course is better than the best day in the office. You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah. Oh, look at the weather though. You know, like, when I hit,
it could be a lot worse, right? Like you're in nature, you're walking around. Yeah. I love it, man.
Yeah, it's definitely that's the main reason I go.
I find a lot of chefs get into it later in life. Like I never had time to do it when I was younger, and now that I've you know now that I'm no longer an active chef. I feel like now I'm starting to get into it. I'm in my 40s too now, so it's like fuck. I need old man hobbies.
And it's really a lovely day out there. I don't like walking. I like the amenities during golf.
No,
you know,
dude. No,
like the things. I want my comfort. Yeah.
Then I'm you know me 42 years old walking 18 holes, and I get paired up with a 90-year-old guy who's walking with his cart.
How do they do it?
Just like I'm a lazy piece of shit, and this guy is doing it the right way.
Yeah, I'm never gonna do that.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna do that. I'm never gonna walk on the.
I walked once, and it was such a hot day. Like by 9, I asked the people in front of me, like, "Hey, can you just drive me back to the clubhouse so I can get a cart?"
I'm gonna have heat stroke here, bro. Like I'm gonna fall.
Yeah, legitimately.
Hey, so Chef, you are being recorded today on Niverland
Yes.
with me, Niver, my friend Matt from Gleam Tower Media is also in the house. We're at Dinette today here in St. Paul.
I thought so. Yeah, I was gonna say it looks familiar.
Yeah, man. That's how we met. Thank you so much for coming through. And you came into St. Paul. I have to mention, you know, we had a moment before this to chat about a whole bunch of things. I just want to say that I'm really thankful that you gave me a little bit more time to chat with you, and that it's you didn't have to. So I just wanted to like publicly appreciate you.
Dude, it's all good, man. I appreciate the hospitality when I was in town. You were a great emissary, is that the word for the Twin Cities of St. Paul and Minnesota? Mercenary.
Yes, hospitality mercenary. Yeah. I sniped you.
No, Minnesota is very good to me. I'm wearing my Twins hat right now, and that's the least I can do is come on. We had a nice chat a couple weeks ago. Fortunately, you weren't recording at the time. No mise en place was done that day.
Dude, we fucked up. We fucked up.
It happens, man.
It was such a beautiful conversation too. Like I tried to
It was a good one too. Yeah,
it
was a good one. Too bad it fucking went down the toilet, but here we are.
We are again. It's like I say, and you didn't have to, so I appreciate that very much. I'm not gonna like lean into that too hard. It's good. I know you're the right guy.
You can kiss my ass a little bit.
All right, well, you're the right guy. You didn't have to fucking do that, and you did it. But it's just proof. It's just proof. It's just proof, you know, because you deal with people in your life professionally, personally. We're basically strangers, right? But it's like proof of how a person really is, or like they do one thing and it's like that's an actual dude. So I got proof, dude. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just see the videos and think that I'm a certain way because I shit on bad recipes online, and I'm a little bit of a sarcastic guy, but
Little.
I'm a little bit, just a tad. But I think I'm a good person. I try to be a good person. I try to treat people with respect, and that's how I operate as a chef. That's how I operate as a person. And it's just I'm more than anything, I'm grateful for all of this chef reaction shit. So for me to be able to sit here and talk to you, that's it's an opportunity for me. You know what I mean? I could be changing a deep fryer out. I could be wondering where my fish guy's at. You know what I mean? Like I'm very grateful for the opportunities that I'm presented with, and this is one of them. So it's nothing, dude. I'm happy to
Thanks,
be here.
brother. Thanks, brother. I think I say I'm humble too much. And I think I keep trying to remind myself to stay humble by saying it. It's kind of, there's like hospitality, what I do. It's really not about me. It's really not about me. I mean,
It's
we have
not,
a way
yeah.
that we impose how we want to be on people, but it's really ultimately about the guest being satisfied. And
Yeah, I mean,
we just
look,
mold to that, right?
I say it all the time. Like I got into being a chef. I got into restaurants to cook for other people, not for me. Like I didn't get it. I didn't get it because I love cooking for myself. I love cooking for other people. I love making people happy through my food. I love the communal aspect of eating. I love seeing people pass dishes around the table, talking about what they liked, what they didn't like. You know what I mean? Like that's what I love. It's not like I probably said this on the last time we spoke, but like I'll eat a fucking PB&J, a bag of Doritos, and a can of Coke.
And be happy
You know
as
what I'm
hell. Be
saying?
happy as hell. Like,
And be happy as hell. Be happy as a pig in shit. But like if I'm doing for somebody else, like people are like, what's your favorite dish to cook? I don't have one. What's your favorite dish to eat? That's my favorite dish to cook in that moment.
I love it
I
when
don't have a
people tell
favorite
me
dish
their
to cook,
cravings.
period.
Like, tell me what you're craving, and
For
I'll,
sure.
it allows me to not think about it and to go kind of figure out what I need and just, try it. It's usually something I haven't done. I'm not a chef. I'm a restaurateur. Of course, I'm in the kitchen a lot and I
Yeah.
cook a lot and I eat a lot, but
But it's the hospitality business, right? Like that's it's not the restaurant business, it's the hospitality
yeah.
business. Like a lot of people want to say it's the restaurant business, but it's the umbrella of hospitality, and you have to be hospitable. Like it's right in the fucking name.
Just
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
and I like the real those real connections. There's a lot of great restaurants that have a shtick or that they're fine dining, and you kind of don't say anything, or it's very experience based, and they're telling you a story the whole meal. Like Matt was at Alinea not too
yeah,
long ago for his birthday. I, I chef. I'm- I got a hospitality nomination from James Beard last week.
I I wasn't I was gonna bring it up. I didn't I
I
didn't I didn't want to
well,
bring it
that's
up
kind of
too
why
early.
like my brain is just thanks,
Congratulations,
bro. Like
congratulations.
you know, we
I'm not surprised though. Before you get into it, I'm not surprised because um, if I could use one word to describe my visit to both uh, Minnesota St. Paul and Saint Annette specifically, it was hospitality. It was the way I was greeted at the door. It was the way I was greeted by your staff. It was the way I was initially greeted by you. I felt welcome, and I don't think that was because of who I am, quote unquote. I know that that's just the standard that's set.
I
So
was
for you to
excited,
get a James Beard nomination, I'm not surprised whatsoever.
bro,
Well done,
bro,
congratulations.
and I know too that it's not just me. Like maybe I start the
Yeah,
flow, but my people, my employees, my friends, they're amazing, and it's really about them. And when we got the nomination, I was like, "Holy shit, dude! I've been doing this a long time.
yeah, of course.
I never imagined. I imagined it a lot because I have desires of like,
Sure.
being respected and like, those affirmations for front of the house don't come like the same way that they do for the kitchen. But anyway, when we got the nomination, I had to do my personal thing and run around the house real quick, and then it really sunk in how much like what hospitality is, and it's absolutely nothing without the back of the house, because if there's timing issues or choreography things that aren't going on, and the synergy's not there, that's going to come out in the way that people are feeling. They're feeling stressed. I'm 20 minutes on this table, bro. Like, where
Yeah,
is it?
yeah.
um but those nuances of that flow, and then the way that people can anyway, so it's just like, the all those things that go into it, and I was just so thankful. And I had a meeting with the entire staff, and told them, some of them didn't even really know exactly what it was about. We just go to work. We don't talk about
Sure.
James Beard. We don't like, it's 44 seats there, man, and so there's like 6 of us when we work, like, and it's a beautiful little thing, but it's about all of us, and I wanted to make sure that they got all the props too, dude. But what a crazy week. What a crazy
That's
week.
awesome, man. That's awesome.
I think what spurred that thought in me is like, you work for so many years in an industry, and you might be able to feel stuck, or what would I do outside of the industry? What would I be able to create that's adjacent, or the thing that I love, and this podcast for me is what came out of that. There was a lot to talk about over the last few years. But
Yeah.
the way that you went from cooking all your life to being a content creator, entertainer, like, do you think of yourself? Huh? No.
No. Look, I don't think
comedian.
I'm funny. I don't think I'm entertaining. I don't think any of that shit, right? Like
Of course you're
I
funny.
don't. I mean, I know I am because other people think I am. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, but I don't think I am. Like, I know I am. I have to be, otherwise I wouldn't have all these fucking followers. Like, it's not because I post good recipes. I've never cooked on camera. So objectively, I know I'm funny, but I don't think I am. And somebody called me a celebrity the other day, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, reevaluate your definition of celebrity. You know what I mean? I'm a niche internet personality, and I'm very happy with it. I never thought any of this would happen.
I think it's pronounced niche, but that's fine.
Niche?
Very niche.
Niche, yaya dada. Yeah.
Man, you see things though sometimes that are just like, I can't imagine where you get this level of banter from. It's absolutely a practiced skill. And again, like, I think these are the conversations that happen in the kitchen, unfortunately, where you're just kind of like sitting, like cooking next to an old salt that's got 50-year-old sayings from his family, and he says it comes up in a weird reference, like, as gross as is this, the latest thing I was laughing about that you said was shit through the eye of a needle after eating some sort of Salisbury steak, and I was like, oh god, that's
I'm a fucking poet, huh?
You're a fucking poet. And I said it wrong the last time, but it's 2 in the H, 1 in the O, and I will forever
2 in the H, 1 in the O.
I will forever use that. I will forever.
Dude, I don't even know where that shit comes from.
Wait.
Honestly, my brain, that's how my brain works.
Okay, so some of your shit is just originated.
Every single video I've ever done is on the spot. I've never watched a video beforehand. I don't write shit down. I don't do multiple takes. It's one take. I post it and gone. Every single one, except for if I have to do a brand video or something like that, then I have to like
make it nice
or whatever on the fuck. Yeah. Don't swear. But yeah, no. Every video I've ever done it's a blind reaction. I just watch a video and talk. Like that's all it is.
It's fucking crazy how fast you are though. Like the spin that must be happening when you're seeing this stuff. I think.
Yeah, no, it's a constant spin for sure. It's constantly
and it doesn't turn off when you're not
spin right out of my head.
But it doesn't turn off, does it?
No, it's never turned off in 42 years.
We just fucking keep bantering. I was home for Thanksgiving, and I without my family, without my my wife and my kids. I went on my own. And I was kind of sitting deep in the couch listening to my family go after each other about things, whether it's like
'tis the season.
Oh, an East Coast, man. Oh, it was beautiful. I just couldn't believe how loud we are. Like as a family, we are loud. And my daughter, oh my God, she's the worst. This stuff carries. Like, I think I have to monitor it a lot, but certainly this is a good outlet.
My humor comes, I think every funny person would say this. Fuck, I don't even like saying that I'm a funny, acknowledging that I'm funny person. But like, a lot of it comes from a place of pain. A lot of it comes from dealing with trauma. When I was younger, I used to use humor as a defense mechanism a lot, as a way of endearing myself to other people and fitting in and just kind of, if I can make somebody else laugh, maybe then I wouldn't think about what else was happening in my own life. And it's kind of like that. It's kind of like cooking, right? I got into cooking to cook for other people. I make other people laugh. I don't make myself laugh.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I've only ever been good at two things: is making people laugh and cooking food.
Makes it hard to
So
take
I think
credit when credit is due, doesn't it?
yeah, I mean, look, I have a lot of self-loathing that I still deal with. Like I part of the reason why I quit smoking cigarettes is because I had a moment where it's like I know for years I've known it's bad for you. It kills you. Little by little, it kills you. I was purposely doing stuff to myself to kill me slowly, and because I didn't care about my well-being. I didn't care about myself. I care about taking care of my family, taking care about my wife, taking care of my grandmother, taking care of everybody except for myself. And that's why I did self-destructive things. Working in kitchens, self-destructive. Smoking cigarettes, self-destructive. Doing drugs, self-destructive. Like all these things. Um, and yesterday was the 4-year anniversary of my mom passing away from cancer, and that was about a year and change before I started doing these videos. And after she had passed away, buried her on her 62nd birthday. Um, and after she had passed away, I felt like I hit rock bottom, and I was just in a really bad place. And then I just started making these videos randomly, and things just started turning around for me. It was an outlet in a lot of ways. Like I was understaffed. Like the restaurant I was running, the guy before me had 14 staff plus him. I came in the pandemic, and my staff was 4, including me. So and like, oh, you can't do it with 4 people. You fucking do. You know what I mean? Like people who don't understand, they don't understand. Going from a staff of 14 to a staff of 4, and while still having to maintain the same sales level, same service standards, all that shit, not easy, right? So I was just getting fucking crushed. And meanwhile, in this process, my mom's dying of cancer. She dies, and then I start doing these videos just to kind of vent and get shit off my chest and just I don't know.
Had you done any
Like,
reaction stuff before or watched it with
no,
gaming or
like
any of that? I mean, like,
no, never, dude. I don't. I no, never, never, never,
and then it
never,
was literally just
never,
kind of
never.
like, hey, I'm gonna go. This is shit.
Well,
I'm gonna bust
what
its balls.
now? You see, what had happened was, I had a dishwasher, a young lady about 20 years old, and she came in one day and she goes, "Chef, check this out. I have a video went viral on TikTok. It has 1.5 million views." I go, "Let me see this fucking shit." And at the time, like I wasn't even really necessarily aware of what TikTok was, right? And I'm like, okay, well, let me see. And she shows me. I'm like, okay, this is fucking stupid. Anybody could get 1.5 million views on TikTok. She's like, oh, okay, then you do it. I'm like, all right, bet. So I was like, I bet you I can get a video with 1.5 million views on TikTok within the next 2 weeks. And if I do, you give me a day, you work a day unpaid. If I don't, you get the whole weekend off, and I pay you for it. I was never going to make her work a day unpaid. I would never
Of
do that
course
to
not.
anybody,
But it's
right?
like you got to make
You're
a
not
bet.
staging as a fucking dishwasher.
Yeah.
Like I would never do that. But I'm making it fun for her, right? So anyways, I started doing these videos, and I had seen people do the reaction stuff before. I didn't come up with it. Like I'm pretty sure Gordon Ramsay did it before I did. You know what I mean? Like people are like, "Oh, it's Gordon Ramsay stealing your shit." I'm like, I don't know. I would have to go back and look. I do it better than Gordon
Fucking
Ramsay,
Gordon.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's hard to
yeah. The only
understand.
thing
He's
I
like,
do
oh,
better
gar, gar, gar.
than Gordon Ramsay. But no, I can admit it, right? Like the guy's a legend in the game, right? And people
Incredible.
are like, "Oh, Gordon Ramsay's garbage." You fucking do what Gordon Ramsay does,
There's
right?
no
Like
way.
that's what I
Yeah,
say.
it's so good.
No
Look at
way.
his cars.
So, yeah, he was driving a $2.5
Did you
million
see that?
fucking Aston Martin, dude.
Holy shit.
I live in my grandmother's basement. There's levels. There's levels to this shit. So yeah, it just started, and then it started. I got my first 1.5 million view video within like a week and change.
Crazy.
And then I was up to like 5,000 followers in a week, and then it was 50,000 after a month, and then it was 1 million after 2 months, and like yeah, within a year I was up to like 3 million followers on TikTok,
That's
and it just happened so fast, and I was doing it for about a year, not monetizing. So like I've never made a penny from views on TikTok. I do duets, which are not monetized by TikTok, which is fair. Like I just talk about other people's content, right? Maybe there should be some sort of split where we both get some sort of monetization. Whatever, not important. I've never made a penny off of it. Got over 6 billion views on TikTok, never made a fucking cent. That's neither here nor there. At a certain point, Hyundai reached out to me and they're like, we want to do a sponsored post with you. And I'd never had a brand reach out, none of this shit. And it was like, it's Hyundai. You know what I mean? One of the largest car manufacturers
It's
in the
huge.
world. And about a year and change before they reached out to me, I had bought my first brand new vehicle ever, which was a Hyundai Tucson that I bought with money that I got when my mom passed away. Got a small chunk of change, put that down on a new vehicle. So I was driving a Hyundai, driving a Tucson, and they came in and they offered me a brand deal. I did that, and I quit my job. And I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to take a chance. I've been taking care of my grandmother for 15 years, you know what I mean, working 80 hours a week. If I told you how much my salary was, you fucking laugh at me. Like it was a tough decision, but it was also an easy decision. Because now I say I'm a full-time caregiver for my grandmother. I just supplement my income by making videos on the internet. And I've never been happier, and I'm the luckiest guy
Oh
in
my
the world.
God.
Like I get to make my grandmother lunch every day. I get to make my grandmother a tea and a sweet treat every night at 6 o'clock. I don't have to. I get to. I am afforded the privilege to do that every single day, and that is what has made me, in my eyes, wealthier than I ever thought I could ever be.
Time is
Hopefully, the money comes one
well,
day.
sure,
But time,
sure. I mean, you have to
time.
sustain, man. You have to like keep going, but it should be something
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
better
yeah.
for you. Like, I'm totally in this change right now. Like, I got one restaurant closing in a really beautiful, very classy way. I got one that just got nominated for an unbelievable, award, and the gratefulness that I'm feeling, and the sad to lose, and the happy to, be recognized
Of course.
all at once. It's it is a matter of being grateful. I think that's a part of humility. I think that's I'm rich too. Took a picture with my wife on a beach, and I think I posted it on Instagram, and I'm like, we're rich as hell without a penny to show for it,
Yeah.
and it's a really good feeling, like I like the climb. I like the idea that you can work for so long doing one thing, and then if you're allow yourself to take perspective and figure out, what's around you and look in a different direction, and then you can't really like see those paths until you take that moment. You had a moment where you just like, I made a bet. It was funny. You're kind of going with the bit, and it worked. It just fucking worked, and I love that. It's a lot of time we invest in our restaurants, and care and passion, and
Yeah.
I know you're busting balls on the videos. I know you don't necessarily like to hurt people's feelings. That's not it. You're just giving a
Yeah.
reaction to some of the
I never
shit.
talk about the people. I always talk about the food.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. The food's stupid. People are probably nice people, but the food's
yeah,
fucking dumb.
and it's just it's a good way that you have it going though, man. Because I just feel like people know you're fucking joking. I saw a live.
For the most part,
They do take it
like every now and
seriously,
then,
huh?
they'll get, yo, you're arrogant. You think you're like, no, I don't. I call myself a piece of shit all the time. Like I'm just a person with opinions. You know what I mean? Like people are like, oh, what makes you qualified to fucking? I worked in restaurants, but apart from that, like, go talk to a food critic, dude. Go talk to any fucking food blogger, any of these quote unquote foodies. What makes them qualified? Because they eat food. You're qualified then. You know what I mean? Shit talker on the internet. You eat food. You're qualified. You fucking
Hmm.
do it. But they won't.
I always like offered to go to their work. Like, hey, why don't you have me over to your work, and we can kind of see what happens in your office, see what your
Yeah.
execution's like. Hey, we can go hang out in your office if you want. That's fine.
Yeah.
I
Look,
can come
by
in.
and large, I've got 7 million followers across all platforms, and 99% of them are they get it. They're very supportive. But it's the 1% that comes out and projects their own fucking shittiness onto you because they don't have to. use their real name or real picture or anything like
Hide.
that. Although I do give, like, sometimes when somebody be like, "Hey, go fuck yourself," they'll write me this message. I'll write back and be like, "You know what? I'll give it to you. You used your real name." I'll be like, "All right, you're standing on business. It's not user 857650." And I'll post them, but I'll always block people's names out because I would never want to, like, I post them for shits and gigs to show people like, "Hey, this is hilarious that I get this type of stuff." It's not for like, "Oh, poor me." I get that, like, that's part of the territory, but like, I post it, but I'll always, there people are like, "Oh, show us the name." I'm like, I'm not going to weaponize 7 million people to go after some fucking jerk off that made a shitty comment.
And there's
right? Like, it's
loonies out
just,
there, you know, you have to be careful too. You know, I know that it's
yeah,
not like been all shits and gigs, as you say, like, you know, exposing yourself and being vulnerable to public opinion. You know, it's
yeah, it's tough,
definitely, you
man.
know, it's
Like,
putting a plate in the window in a very different way, but for like 6
yeah,
million
I mean,
people or seven, you know, like,
when the stuff was popping off on TikTok initially, like, I deactivated my account when I had 50,000 followers on TikTok. I'm like, I can't deal with this, dude. Like, it's not good for my mental health because I come from a world where, like, if somebody like wants to talk shit, they can say it right to my face, and then we can have a back and forth, and that can determine how that's gonna
yeah,
go
and
from there, right? Not, I'm gonna fucking kill your grandmother. Like, I get messages like that all the time. Like, what? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, what did she ever do to you? It's just some angry fuck that's at home on the internet.
wow. I can't
Yeah,
imagine
dude.
my body uttering words like that.
Me
I can't
neither.
imagine
Even
my
like
body uttering anything.
even if I thought, even if, like, before any of this shit happened, like, even if I would see somebody online, and I would think to myself, like, why does this person popular or whatever, like, I would think it to myself. Uh-oh. Well, oh no, we're good.
Okay.
I would think it to myself. Like, I wouldn't go out and write a comment of, "Hey, you're a fucking," you know what I mean? Like, that was just never my personality. But, and then my number one response is like, I always say the same thing. Like, "Thank you for taking the time out of your shitty day to write me this shitty message."
You shitbag. You know,
Yeah, yeah. That's, I kill them with
yeah,
kindness.
well, it's all right. Tell them the truth. They're up there telling you the truth. It's openness. But say, hey, you
Yeah.
do open yourself to that, and it is part of the deal. Not everybody's going to like my food or my service or my attitude or the way that I want to do it or my
No.
answers. You know, one of the things that was hanging in a kitchen that I worked in, the kitchen office, was there was a little sign on the wall and it said risk being disliked. And I fucking struggle with that because I have to be liked for a living. I think I have to
Yeah, I
be
don't give a
liked for a
fuck
living.
about
Like,
that.
it's, you know, like, so I kind of struggle with that risk being disliked. But
That's the front of house. That's the front of house mentality. We don't give a fuck. Like our food. You don't have to like me. But you can like my food, though.
oh, hey, Pop.
Oh yeah, my dog's coming in.
Sweet. Yeah, we had somebody off the street come in and you had your nice little puppy roll in. It's good to have visitors, a
Yeah, I
little
mean,
guest.
my dog lives here, so she's
What kind of dog do you have, Chef? Do you mind me asking? Have I seen your dog?
she's an Australian. Yeah, yeah. Come here. Hey, come here. Come on. Come on. I'm gonna pick you up. You're not gonna.
Come here, buddy.
Whoa!
Oh, my.
She's a sweetheart.
She
Hey?
is a sweetheart.
She's a sweet
I
girl.
love-
She's 14 years
Oh,
old.
my Lord.
Yeah. She acts like she's a puppy, though.
We had a dog with that brindle. It was a Catahoula leopard dog, and he was, you know, a herder type, and he was just beautiful.
She's a sweetheart. She doesn't bark.
That's great.
If somebody were to break into our house, she would lick them and guide them towards all of our valuables. She'd be like, "Hey, you don't fuck the PlayStation. The cash is in the back."
Yeah, just for real. My dog is anxious and neurotic and barks all the time, and not all the time. Like, he mellows out, but like, you can't stand
Sure.
near him. He likes you to be seated. It's a lot. It's a lot.
ridiculous.
You know, it's like these dogs.
My dog's just
He's got a
fucking
particular type
food
of
motivated.
So is he. Unfortunately, I can't
Yeah.
get him to shut up when I want him to. Hey, man.
My wife says the same thing about me.
I apologize to my wife. I'm like, am I doing too much talking right now? Is this a lot? She's like, no, like, it's part of my job to listen to you when you do this.
The tough part for us is, like, we our house is small to begin with, and we are. Yeah, I live in the house that I grew up in. I've never moved. Like I lived outside for a couple of years, but it's the house I grew up in. I live in the basement, and we don't have a ton of square footage. So we're on top of each other a lot. And I've always said like a key to a healthy relationship is a lot of square footage, so you can
Have your
have a little
space.
bit of time, have a little space. You know what I mean? Like I'm very much I like my alone time. I don't get any because I've got my wife, my grandmother, and my dog that all live with me, and I'm so grateful for it. But when I do get that hour or two, oh yeah, oh yeah, I'm watching wrestling.
Okay.
I'm doing all
I
the
was gonna
things.
ask.
Yeah.
Maybe it felt a little personal. I don't know what you're doing in your actual alone time, but wrestling,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
sports. You're a sports guy.
I'm a soccer guy. Yeah, yeah. I'm a soccer guy.
Basketball, though. You
Uh,
said you.
Basketball. I used to play basketball. I like watching basketball. But that's pretty much it. So I don't have the brain capacity. Before I in my 20s, I used to be heavy into everything, baseball, football. I was gambling a lot too at the time. A young, dumb, full of cum, and I was just trying to. But now I just I just pick my battle. So I'm a soccer guy more than anything.
We.
I know I did throw out the first pitch at the Saints game, St. Paul
You had a
Saints
good
game,
form,
and
man.
I had good form, decent form. I was really scared about that. I thought I was gonna fucking break
Well,
it.
you're tall too, so you had. I don't know. There's just
Yeah,
something
I got
about
that
that.
Randy Johnson. Yeah, yeah, the big unit. Glad a fucking bird
Of
didn't
course, you had
fly.
to, name the big unit as the one you are.
The bird, if a bird flew by, like the lack of speed, like it would have hit the bird would have like looked at me and just carried on. You
Taking
know
its
what I mean? Like
base.
not when Randy Johnson threw it and like it
Oh
disintegrated.
yeah, blew the thing up.
Literally, mine it would have just like kind of like bonked him a little bit because it was very soft pitch, and it just would have like given me the stare down as it took first.
I feel like this is making me think about how chefs have like movie quotes and little scenes in their heads that they play a lot out loud at work.
That's my whole life, dude. That's my like. I was raised by a single mom who worked from 4 p.m. till midnight every day. I had a Blockbuster card where every employee of that Blockbuster knew me by name. You know what I mean? Like I was raised off of. I was a latchkey kid. I had TV and movies and all that stuff. That's why my references are what they are, and I'm able to draw from all that stuff. Like
It's
I
super
don't know how it
common and
works.
it's super common among chefs to
Well, it was
have all
before
of that.
pre-internet. We didn't like, especially our generation,
Uh,
because we didn't have memes, right? Our memes were quoting Chappelle's show or fucking quoting Wedding Crashers or like my wife. You know what I mean? Like those were memes back in the
yeah.
day. We just kept repeating like I'm Rick James, bitch, for fucking 2 years. So that's why, right? And then like
And there's a
I think
perfect movie quote for almost every situation,
pretty
or
much
when it's
everything.
quiet, you
Yeah,
can just pipe in
Simpsons quotes.
Simpsons quotes.
I'm very good at bringing up Simpsons references, Simpsons quotes, and like applying Simpsons quotes to what's happening currently. Like I ordered I did a little video which I haven't posted yet, but I ordered something called a pie caken, and it's a 3-layer cake. The bottom layer is a pecan pie, middle layer is a pumpkin pie, top layer is like an apple cinnamon cake, and it's fucking huge, right? And so I'm doing the video and I'm tasting it, and like I'm eating. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna be eating this thing forever. And then in my head, right away, that goes to Homer Simpson when he has the big hoagie sandwich that he keeps eating for like 5 days, keeps tucking it behind the radiator. It's the Duff Gardens episode. So like that's how my brain works. Like it's like
Mhm.
I'm talking about something. Meanwhile, in the back, the wheels are fucking turned. Like the hamster's on the wheel, and he's on Adderall, and he's going crazy, and he's just like, "Hey, what about this? What about this? What about this?" And like that's how my brain
hmm
works.
Me,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
I
fucked
don't
up.
have the like. I'm I'm something. I can't really sit down and read books. It doesn't really work for me. There's a certain level of
I'm dyslexic. I can't read.
I, and my brain just won't do it right. And I'd
Yeah,
rather pace and think sometimes than do anything else. Just walk around and because it's really that role for a person like me never really stops. I think I enjoy
Yeah.
that though. Like I had to like lean into it and just kind of enjoy it. This is what my brain gives me. It's usually in a fun. It's not, like I have my own anxieties, but it's usually in a fun way. But it's always cooking.
Yeah. Yeah, mine. I've battled anxiety my whole life. I'm medicated for it. It's a gift and a curse for
Hmm.
sure. Yeah, to have the like I wish I could be fucking dumb and just shut it off and have nothing, and not think about what's going on, and I just be do 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 do. Like I wish I could be that
Yeah,
guy. You know what I mean?
I get
It
that.
never shuts off.
Yeah, it doesn't. I get picky. I get like
Yeah,
I see details differently,
sure.
and they bother me a little bit. In
Yeah,
serve
it's a
in service stuff. What?
hyper vigilance.
Yeah. Oh, and
Yeah,
I'm decent at recognizing, man. I'm very self-aware, but also
sure.
it's like, it's management. It's management. You got
Yeah,
to take care of yourself. You got to be self-aware enough to understand what's making you feel certain ways, and then find your good cope, not your bad cope, your good cope.
yeah, yeah. My bad cope was smoking cigarettes, so no, I'm trying to get off of that. So no, you know what? Fuck it, I am off of that. It's been 30 days. I'll never have another cigarette again.
Real
Period.
good. You've said that
Yeah, done.
before, or is that it?
It's the first time I've ever tried to quit.
But if you said those words before, like this is it, that's it forever. Because you said earlier you
Yeah,
don't know if you're going to relapse or not. I'm just reminding you of that.
yeah. No, I said it to my dad the other day
All right.
because my dad was like, "Let's go out for a smoke," and I was like, you know what? No, I'm just not gonna ever do it
It's
again.
really good to
Because
verbalize to put your fucking foot down with words.
that's kind of what it is. Yeah,
I
like
do that
I
when I have to
I
do
might.
things. I'm like I'll say them publicly, like I'm gonna go do this, and then once it's out there, like I gotta go follow up and do it.
Like I'm hoping to get to the point where I can have a cigar. I can just enjoy a cigar, and not think about a cigarette or anything like that. But yeah, I'm just not going to do it at the end of the day.
I love it. I mean, I love that for
Yeah.
you. I want to just do everything. Honestly, I feel like in moderation. We don't know when it's all gonna kind of end up.
That's the problem, dude. It's
I feel
I
like I'm at peace with my people and my world, and
yeah.
I'm just gonna try to just enjoy it. Like not wait. I'm not gonna wait. I'm not saying I'm crazy. Like I went through I'm too old to be drinking all the time, and
Yeah.
like
I don't
to a
drink
certain
either.
point, like I can't. But I want to make sure that I don't like forget to live it up.
For me it was losing my mom, losing my stepmom a year after that, and then losing my father-in-law a couple months after that. Like it was like bang bang bang, and like they were all so different in the ways that they lived and their health and what they put into their bodies and the way their outlooks on life. And I was just like, oh, this is a fucking crapshoot, dude. Like it's just really not. Who knows, right? Like I'm 42. I could be dead in 5 years. I could be dead in 25 years. I don't fucking know,
It's just
right?
at
So
what
I'm just
speed,
trying to
you're doing
make.
something good for yourself, and it's
Yeah,
like, so okay,
and that's
maybe I
kind
get
of
a
why
little
it
time
triggered. I'm
back.
like, yeah, I'll uh, not contribute to the decline by smoking cigarettes and doing all these things that are detrimental to my health. Maybe I'd like to stick around a lot more. Like I've always been like I thought I was gonna burn out at 27, like Cobain. You know what I mean? Like the 27
This-
Club, and just go
I'm
hard
going.
until
I'm right
fucking
there.
27. Yeah, right. So like for me, it's like I've always been very aware of my mortality. Um, I thought I was gonna die hovering over a fucking deep fryer or doing inventory or some shit one day with no benefits and no
At the
pension.
joint.
But now I'm like, I have goals. I want to make sure my family's set up, and then whatever happens to me happens to me. But I that's the hospitality. That's the taking care of other
Hmm.
people first, right? That's the I want to be. I want to make sure my people
Everybody
are good.
else
Yeah,
is taken care of.
yeah. Fucking buzzkill, huh?
No, it's
This
real life,
podcast.
man. This podcast
Yeah.
is so sad. Um, not usually. Not usually. I see you
Not just today.
doing. We talked a little bit about new projects that you have in the works.
Yeah.
I love your The idea of you creating something and you don't want to like. There's a little bit of the sellout talk, when you get to a certain level, and then also what am I going
Yeah,
to do
fuck
for
that.
me that I create for me, and keeping that separate. I see you working on YouTube more and getting
Yeah,
the
trying to push YouTube
and
this year. Like
different vibes, like.
the sellout thing is interesting because like it's people who are like, yeah, chef, like go, like we want to see you succeed, and then you succeed a little bit, like we don't want to see you succeed that much. You know what I mean? Like
Well, that's where the
it's like
jelly comes in. The jealousy comes in right there, where
yeah, and like I got it when I did the video with Hyundai. Like, why the fuck are you selling a car? I'm like, I'm not selling you a car, dude. I'm not. You go out and buy whatever car you want. I'm endorsing a product and a brand that they were the first company to take a leap on me 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and now we're on our fourth video together. And like I bought a Hyundai, my first brand new car that I ever bought with money that I got from my fucking dead mother. So like, why wouldn't I do it? You know what I mean? People would do a lot worse for a lot less.
Absolutely.
That's
It's
what
just
I
like the
say.
haters come forth, like I'm not sure why people hate success. I don't see a ton. People think restaurateurs are rich, right? Like that they feel like we're just
Yeah, they've never heard the
robbing
term
them
the magic
blind.
nickel.
I'm sorry.
They've never heard the term the magic nickel, the fucking 5 cents you might make on a dollar
Oh,
profit.
I don't think I had heard of the magic nickel, but that vibe's
Really?
not put like that. No, I like it.
Yeah, it's the magic nickel. It's the 5 cents that you might make on every dollar that you put out in your restaurant.
Yeah, and why?
Never mind if
But
you
why
if
is
you
it
if you
hard
got a
for?
$3 million
Sorry.
$3 million build out before you even open the doors, you're in the whole $3 million
People, the
that you have to
overhead
dig
is
yourself out of.
crazy.
Yeah. Food cost, overhead,
Oh my
insurance,
god.
labor, this, that, and the other thing. Nobody gets it. And then all of a sudden your prices go up $1.50 because fryer oil now goes from $20 a jug to $75 a jug. And oh, what the fuck? People don't understand it, right? Like that's that. It is what it is. But like
Eggs
the
and
haters,
the haters are there.
people, they, lets me know I'm doing something right, and
Oh, sure.
they are the vast minority.
Hmm.
For me to say that I get enough of it, but very, 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 very much more I get supportive, cool
Hmm.
people, like 99%. And for me to only acknowledge the haters is not fair to the 99%. That's why people are like, oh, just stay out of the comments, don't read your comments, don't engage with the comments. Like, well, that takes care of the 1% of dickheads, but what about the 99% of people that are
That are
cool and
actually
that that
supporting me.
that are supportive and that like the
Hmm.
videos and that like I don't know, like I somebody messaged me on Facebook the other day, and I messaged back, and they're like, dude, thank you for responding. I'm like, what? Like, what does that mean? Like, thank you for responding. And then I got it. I'm like, oh, people like the videos and they like the content, and like, I don't know. I guess it means something to somebody to get a message back from a creator that they enjoy and that they support. And I'm nobody without people who watch the videos, right? People who like the videos, people that hate the videos. If you don't watch it, I cease to exist. So I have to. The good outweighs the bad.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But to go full circle, fuck the haters. And what I'm working on currently,
Oh yeah.
recording my first episode of my podcast tomorrow.
Fantastic.
So I'm launching a podcast this year with another food creator, a friend of mine. His name's Cody, at Cody Tries Stuff
Yes,
on
I know. I'm gonna follow him
online.
through you. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, we're very good friends, and we're starting a podcast that I don't want to say the title or anything like that, but it's going to be about food, the food creator ecosystem, just the crazy life of being a content creator, foods, restaurants, everything about food. Just
I love
that's
it.
that's
It's
kind
what
of
I
what we're
do.
doing.
It's fun. This
Yeah,
whole industry just has it's like we're mechanics of sorts. There's just so many moving pieces.
dude, we're tradespeople at the end of the day.
Absolutely blue
It's
collar.
I say that all the
Yep.
time. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of chefs out there that want to jerk themselves off with their menus and their attitudes and all this stuff, and treat their staff like shit and fucking rip off customers and all this stuff. At the end of the day, we're fucking tradespeople, dude. We are tradespeople. We work with our hands. we can make art with those hands for sure.
You
Absolutely.
gotta honor the craft with
But
your hands. That's really it.
that's it, man.
If you know how
That's
to
it.
do
So
it.
yeah. So that the podcast, the thing. What else? YouTube, pushing YouTube a lot this year. I am working on a product that I've been working on secretly for the last 6 to 8 months. That I'm hoping to launch by May. And that's going to be putting a lot of focus into that. Really proud of it. Can't say too much about it right
Yeah.
now.
I know that world to have
But
some frozen lasagnas and things going through. I'm not saying it's frozen or whatever what you're doing, but it's an interesting category.
yeah, it's interesting, and it's something that I've been very passionate
Mm.
about. Fuck it. I'm doing a spice company. I'm doing a spice company. So a lot more detail will
Congratulations.
come.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Thank you very much. But it's all, there's a lot of bullshit out there in the world of spices. There's a lot of cinnamon that's been on a shelf for 2 years. There's a lot of shady practices in getting spices overseas to over here. There's a lot of bad stuff out there, and there's a lot of boring shit out there. So I'm looking to kind of shake things up a bit. Oh shit, spice things up a bit. I'm gonna spice things up. But yeah, I look. I'm sure I'm gonna get the fucking thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Like I know I'm gonna get the fucking sell out, cash grab, this, that, the other thing. If I wanted to sell out or cash grab, I could have done that 2 years ago or any point in between with all the people that have come out of the woodwork to try to get me to slap my name on some garbage.
Mm.
I'm building something with my wife and a friend of mine from the ground up, from nothing.
That's so cool.
This is something that I'm going to be really, really, really proud of.
Yeah.
And I hope
just getting it to the market, just getting it where it's going to be, and then seeing it on a shelf, and then understanding, usage and, like how much to produce and, and holding inventory if you have to. And
it's interesting. For me, the way I always thought of things is like when I was a cook, it was about cooking the best food. But then when I became a chef, it became about making the best cooks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like my job then became to elevate people around me, and obviously food cost and creating the menus and all that stuff. But when you're a chef, when you're an executive chef de cuisine, whatever you want to call it, you are a leader. You have to be a leader, and you have to lead by example, and you have to lead in a way that brings other people up and doesn't bring them down. So taking that philosophy, I felt what's a super easy way to make somebody a better cook? Give them better seasonings. Show them how to use seasonings properly. Mm-hmm. Like if you're seasoning a chicken breast with salt and pepper, and then all of a sudden I've now showed you this seasoning blend, like, hey, this is what you should use. This is why you should use it. This is what's inside. This is what it's going to taste like. Now I have made that person that much better of a cook. What they do with that, beyond that, is up to them. But now they know that, hey, oh shit, this chicken breast was okay. Now this chicken breast is fucking awesome.
Really dope.
Right? It gives a sense of confidence. It gives a sense of accomplishment and a sense of progress.
Add flavor,
I feel
man.
like that's super important.
Yeah, the results,
I mean? So
like you cook it, you add it, you cook it, it comes out, and you're like, oh my God, like this tastes so good. And it's like spices are simple, but they're not. And I'm hearing like the backstory here of a level of quality that you know about, that's in your brain from working. Everything you do has a certain level of quality, and I know that like what you're going to produce out of this is going to be good, dude. So you're
it's not 8-pound Cisco shakers of you know what I mean. Parsley flakes from 8 years ago. Yeah. The spice from Dune. That's kind of one of my little sayings that I say to myself is, "He who controls the spice controls the universe." I just I say that to myself as I'm
great movie,
working on formulas at 3:00 in the morning and trying to get content schedules and all this stuff. It's a learning curve, but I'm very proud of it, and you're going to be one of the first people to get some of that stuff.
Dude, thank you. So. Yeah. Okay, so new projects. Anything else? I mean, how could it possibly be anything else, right? You feel busy?
Yeah, I do, yeah, I do. But at the same time, like as I said, like I'm not away from my family for 80 hours a week. You know what I mean? Like I'll put in 200 hours a week. I don't think that's mathematically possible, but like I will. I doing the work is not the problem, right? And doing the work has never been the problem. The work is like I'm used to it, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
The ethic is
kitchen
in you.
work's
You can
hard.
just keep
Everything
going.
else is easy. Yeah, that's kind of it, right? So I can work all day and all night on this project and still take my time to go make lunch for grandma, go sit down with her, go watch her stories, go make her a tea and all that stuff, right? So
It's lovely, that
it's
whole
it's
relationship,
busy.
dude.
No, thank
Yeah, in
you.
the way that
Look, she's lost all three of her kids. She has nobody left on
you
this planet
honor
other than me
her
and my
so
wife.
nicely. And also any Nona. They're just looking
Yeah,
at your
I'm
shells video this morning, just kind of laughing about things. You're like, I'm not going to fucking swear. This is a Nona video. Pay full respect,
I
you know.
I was raised in a home with my mother, my grandmother, who I still live with, my great grandmother. She died when she was 97, when I was like 15. So like I had time with her. You know what I mean? I've always, I don't know, I've always had a respect for senior citizens. I don't know where. I mean, I guess I do know where it comes from. I was raised by senior citizens, and I still live with one, and I take care of one. And I feel like the pandemic kind of fucking, like I saw people kind of get thrown to the side, like old people, you know what I mean, and then just
Mm-hmm.
like get shipped off to homes and this, that, and the other thing. It was just like, I don't know. I really want to honor her and to give her the best. She's had a hard life, man. She's had a hard life, and I've never seen her smile more than I have in the last 2 years. And she has no reason to smile. So that to me is
She's picking up on your joy,
that's
dude. She's picking up on
yeah,
the
dude.
goodness.
Although she doesn't really understand, like she doesn't know, she doesn't understand TikTok and Instagram. She understands YouTube because like I taught her how to use a
Yeah,
laptop like
she
5 years
loves you.
ago, and so she follows YouTube people and she comments. She gets some fucking flame wars in people's YouTube videos in the comments. But so like she understands that metric for success, right? Like she understands like, oh, you have 220,000 YouTube followers. Like that's a lot. I'm like, yeah, it is. It's tons. It's more than I could have ever dreamed of. I'm like, check this out too. She's like, yeah, whatever.
Just.
YouTube though. She's like, that's what's important. So yeah,
And it's nice
it's
to grow up with your extended family. My folks are 90, but I met my great grandmothers on both sides, and when I was younger. But Noni, my ma's ma, she was a moochie, right? So I named a place after my ma, like a good
yeah,
boy, you know. When I
yeah,
told her I wanted to name it Moochie's, her little crooked finger code, she's like, "Don't screw it
of
up.
course.
Don't screw it up. You're using our name. Don't screw it up." I got to
I
call her and tell her that we got this nomination. Say, "Hey, ma, this restaurant with your name on it got this nomination."
That's awesome,
Oh, and
dude.
I'm looking at her
I
face,
love
and
shit
she
like
was
that.
fucking, like she had a tear in her eye. She's like, "I love you," and those are
Yeah,
the deepest, most
I
wonderful moments, man.
I wish my mom was around to see all this
I
stuff,
know how
man.
lucky I am.
I wish, man. Like that's it. She always I was always, I was a only child, single mom. Um, to her, I was always her star. You know what I mean? And then I got to go on a red carpet last year at an award show. And my mom and I, if I start crying on this podcast, I'm gonna fuck it. My brand is done. Um, I went to an award show and I was nominated for a streaming award, and I walked the red carpet. And my mom and I used to watch. Oh fuck, we used to watch like Golden Globes and Oscars and all
Mm.
that stuff every year. And I looked down and I saw that carpet, and I was like, "Fuck, man, I wish she was here to
Mhm.
see that."
I really, I want, I want to believe she was there, dude. Like, and
Yeah,
you're sending the
I mean,
vibes
like,
wherever, and it's beautiful though. That's the respect part.
I don't know what I believe in about what happens after we go, but I know what she believed in, and I know what my grandma
Mm.
believes in, and I hope that's what's real.
Faith is hard,
I
and it's nice, like to have it.
yeah,
It's nice to have it.
yeah. I'm too pragmatic for my own good
You
sometimes,
chef.
so I'm kind of I'd like to believe in certain stuff,
Oh, it's good for
but
others.
I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
for
yeah,
others
yeah.
to have
But like
faith.
I know, I know that's what my grandma
Yeah.
believes in, and I know that like she's 90 years old. She's lost all three of her kids, as I said. She tells me very often that she's ready to go, which is hard for me to hear because I take care of her and my job is to make sure that she doesn't go. But I hope that when she does, that she's reunited with everybody, and then they could all watch my videos and laugh together
and cook in the sky or whatever. Like
that's it, man.
Energy, no matter what, it doesn't end when we pass. It lives on in others. Like you just the memories or whatever, and those are the things that I cling to. My mom's. I cling a lot more to the Italian side, but because my dad's kind of a mutt, and his history is not really traceable. It's just a mix. But I can really relate with the feeling Italian and what the world feels about Italians, and just I feel it inside. And so when I see my mom, I just thank her for giving me this identity that I love, helping me have it, that I'm cooking with it, that I'm taking her house, into my world and extending it through. Like ultimately it's a really cool thing to be able to honor them with how we are. They're very proud. It's beautiful.
That kind of just put a thought into my head, and the way I am, the person that I am, is 100% her fault, for better or for worse. And I hope that I'm making her proud.
Yeah, I didn't always want to be like when you're a kid. You don't want to be like your mom. Like, why do you want to be? I'm not gonna act like this when I'm older. And then on the sudden, boink, you start saying things that your mom said to you, and it makes a lot more sense. It fucking clicks finally, and you're like, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I was a fucking hard-headed idiot, dude. Like, I didn't want to listen to anybody. I didn't want to listen to anybody when I was a kid. I thought I knew everything until I was 18, 19, And then some bad shit happened. I lost some people in my life, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know fucking
anything." I heard somebody say with the kids, I got one that's turning 25, and I'm thinking about the car insurance and the phone plan, and I feel like I'm helping my kid out a lot more than a lot other families, and I'm just kind of like, and I see my son, and he's going into college, and I heard somebody say this, and I'm gonna keep it forever. If I pay, I have say.
It's the equivalent of under my roof, my roof.
Yeah.
Right.
But it goes to the real, like the ultimately what happens. My daughter doesn't live with us anymore. We're just, she's getting on her feet. We're able to do it.
Yeah.
It's a very grateful scenario, but there's a little control that has to happen with that.
Gratitude is very important.
Yeah, and they are. My kids are grateful. They know that we all know. We're every day. We're just
you seem grateful too.
Oh,
man.
very. It's the best. I'm having the best time of my life right now. I really am. And mixed with whatever the work is, like I feel validated. I feel, like things are going my way, even though I've got closure and all these things come up. I'm so grateful. This is a beautiful story here, and so I'm lucky and grateful. I get to close a place slowly with a goodbye and, honoring the employees and the city that we've been in.
Not a fucking 2 a.m. dash out the back door with 10 grand of fucking meat and all the copper wiring in the walls.
Well, we're gonna gut the place, but we can.
Of course, yeah, for sure.
Oh, and
yeah, I see some nice venting above you.
Yeah.
That can come with you.
It's only.
I'm sure you can get some scrap metal.
All the copper. Yeah, we're gonna rip the copper.
Yeah. Copper, 100%, dude. Yeah.
Hey, chef,
I've worked at restaurants. I've worked at restaurants like that. Where I come into work the next day and it's boarded up.
Yes.
And the guy's like, there's a note like, I'm in fucking Tahiti. See ya. If the government asks, you don't know.
This shit happens. It happens. Yeah. People, there's two reasons to close a restaurant. Either you have money or you don't.
Yeah, or you don't. Yeah, one or the other.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then,
true,
and in this case, I know how lucky I am that we were able to, financially, just cut everything back to make it float with where the city is, and it's still no compromises. It's great. I have to say a couple quick things.
Sure.
The show is sponsored, and I feel really grateful there to Minnesota Ice, 36 Lynn Refuel Station, Land O'Lakes Food Service. Thank you so much. and a new one, Falling Knife Brewing Company, help us bring these words, this love, these conversations to light in the Twin Cities and beyond. Chef reactions today. A very gracious person and a great visit with you today, Chef.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Anytime. And then once my podcast is up and running, I'd like to have you on.
It would be my pleasure. It would be my pleasure, man. And I'll just stay connected. And again, appreciate the time and the realness. You know, I feel like I know you for a long time. It's just kind of,
dude, what you see is what you get.
It's real, and that's the ease, I think, because there's no makeup here. We're not playing around. Yeah, I had notes, but brother, we just had a chat, you know.
Fuck them. Fuck the notes.
Right.
We don't need notes. Research. We're just two dudes talking.
Yeah, but that's how it felt. Yeah. So you make it that way, man. Well, I'm wishing you luck. Break a leg with your new stuff. Thank you so much for the time. Best to your grandma and your whole crew over there, dude, for real.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you again on Niver Neverland or elsewhere, my friend.
I gotta come to the other spot and see why you got a James Beard nomination and I'm hoping to come back. I might even come back for the fair this year.
Okay.
We'll see. I had such a great time last year, and Minnesota was so good to me. You know, it's one of my favorite places that I've ever traveled to.
Man, I'd love to go out and grub with you, and you know, from the Niver point of view or whatever. No pressure, of course. I know you come with an agenda, but I'm here. You know that.
Appreciate you always.
Brother. Take care, okay? Have a good day.
Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it.